But if you would like, we're going to have kind of introductory remarks from Amy Kligman, who is the curator of this exhibition, and then we'll go over to the project space side and talk to the three artists over there. So just a quick welcome. I'm Amy Kligman. I'm the Associate Director of the Charlotte Street Foundation. I think a lot of you know us, but some of you are new faces, so welcome. Paragraph and project space, which you're in, are two of three exhibition performance spaces that we run through the Charlotte Street Foundation's Urban Culture Project. We also have studios providing free space for one-year terms to 32 artists at a time, both visual and performing artists. And on December 10th will be our next open studio, so we really encourage you guys to come join us for those. All the studios are open. We have guided tours leading from Paragraph, and it's a great way to get in and see sort of behind-the-scenes look at the artist's work and processes. So we hope you'll join us for that. We do that every other month, alternating with third Friday openings in these spaces, and mostly third Friday events in our last space on the west side. So I'm thrilled to welcome Amy Kligman, who many of our exhibitions and projects we do for Urban Culture Project generate through an open call to artists and curators for proposals. So Amy submitted a proposal to our curatorial committee about a year ago for a very ambitious project. And Amy's an artist as well as an emerging curator. And we were excited about the proposal and even more excited to sort of see this really ambitious show come together. So I'm really proud of her for taking this on. Lots to look at. I hope you guys will spend time tonight or come back to peruse books in the library as well as to spend time with works on the wall. So thanks again for being here, and I'll turn it over to you.
Hi. So I'm going to try to keep this quick because there's a lot of stuff to dig through here. There's about 40 artists in the show, upwards of 40, and a big concentration of that is over in this section in the reading room. So as Kate mentioned, if you have the chance to come back, you might actually get to dig a little deeper into some of that than tonight. But the artists in the show came from all over the place. There's a great representation from Kansas City. There's also representation from across the country, and actually a couple of people from Canada. We had a great call for entries that a lot of people responded to, in addition to about 15 to 20 people that I started with when I did the pitch to Charlotte Street. And this show started off as a show about sketchbooks, which is my passion. I'm really into sketchbooks, and that's actually influenced a lot of my own work personally. But then when I started looking at sketchbooks and just started looking at bookwork in general that's happening right now, I got really excited about a lot of the other things that I was seeing. So kind of moved on to some of the wall work that you see in sculpture pieces. A lot of the artists that are in the show are actually not here tonight since they're out-of-towners. So if you have any questions about a specific piece, I would encourage you to kind of peruse through. We have a little binder over here that has some explanations of work, like the bibliography piece that's here and some of the other pieces in the show. And then also feel free to ask me. I'd be happy to talk with you about them because I've spent a lot of time talking with some of the artists about each piece in the show. I would encourage you to, again, touch some of this work, the work specifically that's over here. We have cotton gloves, and you're welcome to dig through. There's also some work that's clearly marked do not touch, so just make a distinction about that. But I thank you, and thanks for being here, and thank you, artists, for putting work in the show. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have an artist talk tomorrow. There's going to be, I want to say, maybe 5 to 8 artists that are going to be here to talk about their work at Link. So I encourage you to be here for that. I think it's at 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Okay, and then we have a couple of other events. Tonight, actually, at Terry Campbell's gallery in the River Market, there's a show called Documents that's going on. So if you have some time after you leave here, I encourage you to go there and check that show out as well. There's going to be the night at the Open Studios at, I want to say it's December the 10th. There's going to be another little installation here from Wonder Fair Gallery in Lawrence. They're going to do a kind of make your own zine kind of thing. And they're also going to be a couple of writers here kind of doing a reading. So I invite you to please participate in these other events as well. And thank you guys for coming.
One other word on that. Up here, there are copies of checklists for the show, and on the last page of the checklist are information about the public programs that Amy talked about, as well as some bookbinding workshops that have been organized. Luke Pretz, Abbe Findley, and Terry Campbell. We really try to do a spectrum of different things with our programming. So from an exhibition that's really the first curatorial effort by a young and emerging curator to shows with students who are just coming out of school and really kind of having their first sort of public exhibition. This is a very collaboratively based show, and I think we really enjoy being able to provide the opportunity for young artists to take risks and work in different ways together. We also are forcing artists to talk about their work, much to their reluctance at times. So these remarks may be fairly brief, but then we will welcome a couple of questions if you have them.
Hi, I'm Terry. So like Pete said, this was a very collaborative effort, about a year and a half in the making. And when we started off, we kind of just tried to find similarities between the themes and methods that we were working with individually. And one of the things that we all kind of agreed upon was using social media formats to develop our own identities. And as time went on, we found more similarities with the works, and it kind of evolved into this collaborative curation.
Well, for me at least, this show is about me and how I came to learn about myself. I took a whole year off of making any big decisions outside of like, what am I going to wear, am I going to go to class today, and what do I eat. So I decided that I would try and use as many tools as I could to discover as much about me as possible. I was pretty sure of who I was, like internally, like what I thought about myself, how I perceived myself. But I was ready to learn about like what other people thought about me and how they responded to me. Those photos are all from a series I did during the course of that year called My Daily Journal. Every day I would take a photo of myself doing what I normally do, which is either sitting down or laying down, and post it on Facebook, on my MySpace, and on Flickr, and try to elicit as many comments and responses as possible so I could understand the external me that I didn't really have much of that. Also, I'm really interested in just like the daily grind. Like, I'm pretty sure who I am when it comes to like big events, like would you rather eat worms or be buried alive? Like, I could come up with a pretty quick answer to that. But when it comes down to who am I when I'm sitting in front of a computer at work, or typing a paper, or working at a pizza restaurant or whatever. And so these drawings right here against this wall are just kind of all responses to who I am on a daily basis. I work with a lot of data. These came out of an internship where I was organizing and on Excel, and I completed the task so quickly that they said I should improve upon it. And so I spent all day like creating a meaningful like color template. And then I was wondering, what would this look like, or what would it even mean if I didn't have any actual data in there? And so when I started looking at it even more, I realized that even if you don't know anything, you can fill this with your own data and like come up with your own news show. So I encourage you to just like imagine what you would do.
You're going to talk about some ideas of streaming the show. Talked a lot about its stating there's a hyper awareness towards the accessibility of technology and devices that allow for us to capture almost anything at any moment. So I find that this question of how do we make time for ourselves, the difference between our external perception and how people perceive us, but also how do we make downtime for our own introspection. And I think this was a big theme that ran throughout all our work.
So I think it's safe to say that we're pretty open for discussion, that we didn't want to structure a formal talk or anything because we do hope that you will ask us questions and partake in this ongoing dialogue about these things, or really about anything to do with yourselves. So I invite you all to please introduce yourselves to us, come talk to us about ideas, thoughts, questions. Thank you so much.